CompTIA A plus Core 1 practice test. Question 1. A technician is troubleshooting a PC that restarts randomly during operation. Event viewer shows a kernel power problem. What should be checked first? Power supply stability, overheating CPU, corrupted system files, outdated BIOS firmware. Question 2. A laptop's display shows colored lines and artifacts after booting. The issue persists on an external monitor. What is the most likely cause? Faulty display cable, corrupted display driver, failing GPU, incorrect refresh rate. Question 3. A workstation cannot connect to a file server on the same subnet. The server is pingable, but file sharing is inaccessible. What is the most likely cause? Incorrect subnet mask, blocked SMB port, disabled file sharing service, faulty Ethernet cable. Question 4. A user reports that their wireless mouse lags intermittently. The mouse uses a USB receiver and other USB devices work fine. What should the technician try first? Replace the mouse batteries, update the mouse driver, change the USB port, adjust the mouse polling rate. Question 5. A technician is troubleshooting a PC that boots slowly and shows high disk usage. Task Manager indicates a third-party application is consuming resources. What is the next step? Run a malware scan, update the application, reinstall the operating system, disable the application at startup. Question 6. A network printer is not responding to print jobs from multiple workstations. The printer is online and its IP address is reachable via ping. What should be checked next? Printer driver version, spooler service status, firewall port settings, printer default gateway. Question 7. A user reports that their laptop shuts down randomly during heavy workloads. The fan is running and vents are clear. What should the technician check first? Thermal paste application, battery health, power adapter voltage, BIOS power settings. Question 8. A workstation displays a no boot device found error after a power outage. The BIOS detects the SSD. What is the most likely cause? Loose SATA cable, failed power supply, incorrect BIOS settings, corrupted bootloader. Question 9. A technician is configuring a virtual desktop for remote employees. Which protocol should be used for secure remote access to the virtual desktop? VNC, SSH, RDP, Telnet. Question 10. A user reports slow performance on a cloud-based application. The application is hosted on a shared virtual server. What is the most likely cause? Insufficient VM resources, network latency, overloaded host server, incorrect user permissions. Question 11. A technician is setting up a virtual machine for a developer. The VM requires isolated network access for testing. Which network setting should be configured? Bridged, NAT, host only, internal. Question 12. A company is migrating its email server to a cloud provider. The technician needs to ensure high availability. Which cloud model should be implemented? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, hybrid cloud. Question 13. A technician is configuring a RAID array for a small business server requiring redundancy and performance. Which RAID level should be selected? RAID 0, RAID 10, RAID 1, RAID 6. Question 14. A printer is producing faded prints despite a full toner cartridge. The technician has cleaned the print head. What is the next step? Replace the fuser assembly, update the printer firmware, calibrate the printer, check the transfer belt. Question 15. A technician is installing a new GPU in a workstation. The system powers on, but there is no display output. The GPU is receiving power. What should be checked first? Monitor cable connection, GPU driver installation, PCIe slot compatibility, power supply connectors. Question 16. A user reports that their desktop's USB 3.0 ports are only providing USB 2.0 speeds. The devices are USB 3.0 compatible. What is the most likely cause? Outdated USB drivers, faulty USB cable, incorrect BIOS settings, insufficient power supply. Question 17. A workstation fails to power on after a RAM upgrade. The technician verifies the RAM is compatible. What should be checked next? Power supply wattage, motherboard BIOS version, CPU socket alignment, RAM seating and slots. Question 18. A technician is assembling a custom PC for a graphic designer requiring high-performance storage. Which storage configuration should be recommended? 7,200 revolutions per minute HDD, SATA SSD, NVMe SSD, hybrid SSHD. Question 19. A technician is troubleshooting a network where a device with IP 192.168.1.10 cannot access the internet. The default gateway is 192.168.1.1 and DNS is set to 8.8.8.8. What is the most likely issue? Incorrect subnet mask, blocked outbound port 80, misconfigured DNS server, faulty NIC driver. Question 20. A user reports that their VoIP phone has poor call quality with jitter and dropped calls. The network is wired and other devices are unaffected. What should the technician configure to resolve this? VLAN tagging, QoS settings, static IP address, DNS caching.